Talk about what you'll be getting up to at half-time here. A quick word on Galway's preparations. We know nothing about them, of course. They haven't been involved in the competition up until now. What can you tell us?
No, I don't know much about them either myself. No, we have a very talented bunch of players, obviously, from the last couple of years playing through the minor and even the last 2 or 3 years that are even on the under-21s. And an example of the talent we have, Martin Dolphin from my own club started here 3 years ago against Clare, and he's not even on the 24 today, and he's hurling as well as he ever did, So I'm hoping that the guys that are on the team and on the panel that they're up for the challenge today.
And the minors, of course, through to the All-Ireland. And I suppose after the hammering that this team got in the All-Ireland final last year, they'll feel they have a point to prove. And with 10 of them, I think, underage still for this particular game, a lot of them, I suppose, looking at last year's All-Ireland saying we want to be back again for this time.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a different opposition today. Like Limerick are coming into it on an unbelievable Munster campaign, and they're full of confidence coming into this game. And it's going to be very tough for Galway to get up to the pitch of the game. They need a few scores on the board early to have any real go,
Is it an issue at all for players? The last time these Galway guys would have been here in Semple Stadium would have been for that game, for the vast majority of them, I suppose. Is there any kind of mental hangover that players have when they're coming out to play in the same pitch again?
I don't know. It's hard to know. It all depends on how they treated it, whether they talked about it or whether they just got over it. And, as I said, it's a new campaign. It's a different team. And, all they're concentrating now is getting a good performance against Limerick.
Talking of difficulties, you had your own difficulties, of course, in the seniors this year. What's been the fallout in Galway after the defeat to Waterford?
No fallout whatsoever. We're just trying to get back with our clubs again now and train away. We've club championship next weekend, so we're just concentrating on that.
And has there been anything, like players, I'm sure you've all spoken together, you were so flat on the day. Has anybody been able to say what went wrong and why it went wrong?
I don't know. A few players maybe might have talked to each other, but we didn't meet up or anything like that. And a lot of has been said in the media and stuff like that, and they've made their own conclusions, and that's fair enough. And I think everybody is going to listen to them any more so than us.
Okay, tell me a little bit what's going on here at half-time today, Joe. We've seen this crossbar challenge in a few of the games so far.
Yeah, we're doing the crossbar challenge here at half-time. Myself, Sean Tobin from Limerick, Donal O'Grady, and I think I'm bringing out the little nephew, Andrew, to do it as well. So we'll see how it goes. But, whoever does it can raise €500, I think, for gear and stuff for your club. So it's just a bit of a laugh. It gets the crowd when they're maybe bored at half-time to do something,
I'm sure it's something you've tried to do for the crack at training. Much like when you throw over those sideline balls from 45, 50, 60 yards out. How difficult is it when you've got the people looking at you at half-time to be able to hit what I suppose is 3 or 4 inches of stick above the goal?
Yeah, well, it's not my job to hit the crossbar in matches, so I don't really practice it too much. It's my 3rd or 4th time now to try it here at the under-21 games, and I haven't done it yet, so here's hoping today that I might be a bit lucky.
There's something you can't do, Joe.
No, it's human.
All right, Gurvila Maga, Joe Canningas, Larting, and so people having their lips is Kevin Downs, the captain, an injury doubt coming into the game. Does he start?
Kevin starts, Micheál. He's ready to go. We left it as late as we could till 1 o'clock today, and Kevin is flying it, to be quite honest. We're more than happy with him, and everything is, as I said, ready to go.
What about getting the players back down to earth after that unbelievable game in the Munster final against Cork? How easy or difficult was that?
I suppose in one way it was easy, because in the sense that they all went back with their clubs on the Friday, Saturday and Sunday after the Wednesday, and they did exceptionally well. And look, we have 5 training sessions since, Micheál. So there's a lot of work has gone in between this and then. So look, we're focused and ready to go today.
The usual problems that you suppose you'd have with the likes of Galway, you wouldn't have seen them in competitive action. No. So what have you been able to find out about them?
We actually played Galway twice, Micheál, in challenge matches within 3 weeks of the Cork match. So ourselves and Galway know a fair bit about each other, and it's going to be one of those occasions where the performance is going to be in work rate is going to win the game today. Galway are an exceptionally good team from what we know of them in the 2 challenge games. So look, it's all down to work rate and getting the performance out of these Limerick guys again today. I don't want it to be the way it was the last time, Micheál, hanging on for the last couple of minutes and nail-biting stuff. But look, hopefully that we'll get the performance out of these guys and we'll get the work rate up, and that we'll come out on top again today.
Nobody can read too much out of challenge games, but those 2 games you played against Galway, how did they go?
Galway won one and we won one. So in terms of, in terms of what we know about each other, we know a fair bit about each other. But look, such is the way it is, and it's all down to 60 minutes of hurling today.
Okay, well, Joe Canning agus Sean Tobin limní leart lenny chéile an son Chulamar ó Joe began in níos slúthe agus well an vertical son is Suil Gamor leis guidance and so. Ready for road.
A bit of a delay there, which was grand.
Okay, tell us, Anthony, how have you been able to? You've had the age-old problem. You were here at this time last year, of course. Same problem, getting this Galway team ready and fit for championship action. A lot different to a couple of challenges that you might have had coming into the game.
Yeah, we've worked very hard, though. In fairness, since the 24th of May, we've been working very hard. Played a lot of matches, and training has been really hard. So, they've given us a great effort during the summer. So we're really up for it, and can't come quick enough because we're waiting for so long. But everything's going to be told in the next hour.
Yeah, the waiting so long, of course, also reflects what happened here last year. And with 10 of the guys, I think, still with you, underage, I'm sure people have been hurting thinking about that Tipperary defeat. The DVD's probably been out a few times, and people are saying now's the time to put things to rights.
Well, the lads know themselves, and to put it right this evening, they're well able to do that. We have massive belief in this team, and last year was a super experience for them, against a super team. But today is a different ball game. We're up against it against Limerick, but we're fully set. And
were you saying, Anthony, a bit delayed coming in? Did that affect the players at all?
Not at all. We were outside in the back pitch there poking around, so it was grand. Lovely evening to be playing.
All right, Mahu, Garila Magad Anthony as Hurling and so Shin Banistor na Galway and Scalis Dani Tachtuig agus Dre Kasulachta Neil Aharaha Denta Anthony Cunningham Madala Shaver and the Hussoig and so Achobeg lads Limini Amo Homa and Ish agus when they following Hurling freshen. Sean Gormagat, how are you keeping Limerick people ahead of this game?
I suppose they're confident enough now. They had a good win over Cork in the Munster final. I suppose the boys are prepared well. Should give a good account of themselves today. So hopefully all things going well.
And Kevin Downs, your senior colleague, playing. How critical is that for the team to be able to get across the finishing line today?
It is big for Limerick now. Kevin's a great player. He's a big man in full forward line. He's a leader in the team. He's very big now for Limerick. So hopefully now everything goes well for him and he can lead from the front and hopefully now they get the win at the end.
You'd be a man who'd be able to tell us what the expectation level is like in Limerick. There's never been a county like it for getting a good win and then all of a sudden everybody's behind you. That can sometimes be a hindrance, I suppose. I
suppose Limerick are always great to follow. We had a few bad years now, not bad years, but tough years. But Limerick provides an always follow, and it's always good to get to success and keep going after that. And no doubt they're all here again today, and we'll surely drive them on.
But does that help? Is it a help that there's a massive crowd here, obviously from Limerick coming in? But when the players are listening to people talking them up during the week of a big game like today, that can affect players' heads in a negative sense too, I'd imagine.
I suppose it can in some circumstances. It can, but I think the boys are down to their level. They'll be confident. The crowd actually help them. I think it actually will help them. Great crowd, and I think they're well prepared. They'll be fine. They'll be well tuned in. There should be no fear of them on the day.
Okay, good luck, Gormagat, Sean Lartling and Tranona, Carcalor, well, Sean Tobin, Marcin so Campa Limni, August Nick.
Better Asa Gadera. Pishkilla, Hid chance Scorala against Shane Dowling. The Anna Green, a Glohe Canish the Moon, the Sled will Chestic, a Shane Grist enough. August Tabuki Limni, Florida Scotch. Green Lechuli Lord Gordon. Trusted draw Barry Daly, captain the Forney, Captain David Burke and Captain Shea Daly and Captain Fachtgay Glennon. Reached Beckle through on Dahev, Anna the Machfian Barker, Nina Lawn, Tossa, Gaftan Counson, Short Harris Traston and Son, the Naliv, Agus Tyke Harden, Trish the Forney, Horamu.
Karen, they're now better Grill, Chance, Glimnock, better and Counson, the Glanamak, Jenna Began in his Farnham or either. A very great Tossa and the Gallivan Shanshin, a Crow, the High Harriman and Shin. Agus near the vein Jacker to get and counts on the score line.
See now what has begun in the Hushkata, Point and Tie of Martian, because the Tussa and Dahev, a Bogamach Fan Bark, Derek, Schlee of Praho Lashtig, Declan Hannon, Barn, the Point to Mach again shoot, but the stuff again, and the fighter fought again Hannon, like a shot Canada, Monty Canada Raven.
Well, been on road the special to play Hannon, Goresh up at the score in the Martian, the Point to Mach Dauphin. Mar Hussig sé and Loshuk sin, Crochig sé and chance of féin, agus Fecher sin mar Cholín. Tíreach búilte on command.
Henny Asson Godere Vishan of her father fad. Puckstassa, Hyde to Galore reached. Nish, the Gallivic David Burke Tacht, the reached Garmach and James O'Brien. Clibbert Imidorian Sonach, Fachtge Gallivach. Block out the commands and the Sean O'Brien, the Limnach, Erich, the Niall Burke. James O'Brien a lá an éana go san chu amach lena bhróige chuige méidir nó maisina an gúil agus seoltaisteach an san agus cum anna bhair gceann san agus sé taigh thar na ríist atá teis an spric a chaimsú.
Well, gan dó. Ba ceart go meach chus an tóirí limní beagán in níos córa muí faoi bhar seo, mar tá sé testbainte a hús an cluiche go bhfuil sé dain séireach agus thar a bheith críon gácheans feiti.
Caite, ceann níos a bhar an trosa, seoltaisteach an tách, well, déanta go maithe Barry Daly ó rathad a chláirín isteach láirslí agus tarach ar spás gan eilehata, Bark. Well, tá peint aimse ag bhí David Denning séir taobh leis ach tá sé curachan cíine ag Bark.
Bhí sean ag lán cúlaí limnachan sin beaglí teachtamach beagán níos tapúla chuige beidir ar ní héamh géir a dóin sin Alan Dempsey bheann. Ach ní raibh an dar ró ag beidir mar bhí a chóir.
Sé thar bhór na trá taigh Harn. Imríonn gan le Liam í bhfuilíos an Commonson ach tá sé a gola bú chné seo a thógant. Racha mí deis gur prínte tá gceistige se agus sin éon tríú ceann.
Ag immert muir an glíán Conor Cooney an sin.
Nis tá sló mór a limnach an sás tá sé déag na brochlaí gréasa go ddíiseach tá nach eileh sacrthe síos tí sa bharna iad. Sa leis amach an sa den eileh agus déanta go maith ag rialis anna choramíocht an televici me nis fíor sceoch go dtí Barry Daly atá ar fuid na háite agus tá peinte aimse heige níl. Tá as go bhfuil sin cóileach Harris an trasnáin ach tá versa a dul Clíán go Clíán agus ní liscas de cúlathe cabhail sé.
Se ní chuann sé aon duine in aigeine dom ach an banistóir na Gaillimh bheith rinne Anthony Cunningham rudí mar sin nó a bhí sé féidir ó héamh na parke agus bhreil leis an spáis a bheith goscailt amachchas a chóir.
Mar sin an Gaillimh bheith déanamh go dtí le cúpla neomdach Grémal Cahí déananig é thuteach a haigspacht go sé Dowling. Fása trá leis agus tá cóil aimsethe. Bhí brúin a bhar ón Dave Clerks an Davias ach déananig leis síos chuisteach lesmeach.
Gan dó a bhrín, bhí rud ag an teastáil chun limnach a thochrú síos agus tíreach mar a rinne sé in éag corca ag léthe canis na mún bhí rinne Dowling go hionntach maith an ihe sin gan fiú a scór amhána áil ach tá cúil hana hábhart ag feite gan sin.
Nis tá ceann mar taineh an nuas go hála ar fad fáil Tom Simple an sa. Trídíireach ag na gcuilí amach íseal géarach crain. Chalé sé trusan ar. Agus Conor Alice. Díireach leistigh na lína chuidhéidir is seacas be cheacnach ar a chumas an taction. Ní dhéanamh an tucht tá sí chuidir chléags ar fórílige. Tá Conor Alice ceann nar a bheith beidir cúpla méidir níos a híamach ní roiada hin nach chuir sé fóréilech. Tá an spricaim se tar éis to get Dowling ag sin scór bra ón raibh lína.
Fair play tá níl sé éasca builas léir a thógáil tar éis titim go láidir ar an dalamh agus
Stíor da.
Bhíidir roiada huaig.
Nis ceann na nadar fad seoltaisteach ag Murphy i míana bharde Brista Nósan son necmar Grémal Cahí points a chléir fós. Déanta go maith hanan slí déanta go féin ó heamh na lága clé éon tarabháin ag gur handstáil a héad.
Gan dó mar aonn sé deis ag an áf aonn sé scór agus fechar sin chu tapig is a fuair sé Gréimar an slitar smachtaigh sé go tapige agus go nóthair sin scór go deascin sin.
Chóirla go mar lá isteach atá bhil Cahí. Declan Canélí dal siar an tachar éis na Galway Kevin Downs. Seoltaisteach an sa bhís a caiinte bhil Cahí. Gur beag a fisce gan dá tá peinte aimse an san aige. Ach díanamh bud a lá na park go héadí hanan agus Downs a chruthige sin.
Sin éiad an pertíir is tábhacht féidir limnach agus tá sé tréise sin a haspáint éis. Cé gur chail Downs an Cumán an boutas an dairigh leis an pass a thuirtan sin do mar Cahí agus Downs sé scór.
Séf se maith aige liminach an agus an Fernmar Park is Sean O'Brien. Cúil anna iasa go na chorcaí. Steach an samar a bhfuil Noel Kennedy is ar éis tá slí deag an then ghairta. Scailech leis ar fad an san pad agus bhí sé ar a thuirnas a bhór.
Gan dó bhí ach ruspáis sin oscóir cúil na Gaillimh ach fechar sin.
Leis an pocamach don Gaillimh go Jamie Ryan an Grachfuil. Saul an sa tro haig haar nach fachtige Parkinson in the hat slot vi sé puitlis a David sé a bhla son sin score vi tastal go tote agus score a scrap go chrélecha.
agus score iontoch an sin on Nimmert fechar an ilin a bhí agus é
Choréach. Curie captain Fassa fechja Ceach an Keed pass on to Stackany Glenn has chances again Galif. Puinte ní féidir beéis de gaanta is Glennon. Skilláling Alan Dempsey ficha sin de chosint. Tá sé sin go
hóta gur fad. Fechéan chosantóbláú le son.
Chosantar maile mátá se Paul Gordon an Galibh teachta na hóid. Bristan ó son. James Egan in teachtaach ní héog. Machan samar a bhfuil park. Smachta he go deasige Harris se drasta an a bhfuil Neil. Gansi ag Cian Hayes ach necha go moltóide. Stechel Larsley seo fer Cian Hayes. Bark han sprechaimse again lechúlaí Lord and lechosí Lord. Agus an bharna iad go pointige.
Agus tá an glúiseach de tá faoi hosa henne.
É sin na stúla suas Kevin Downs an sprechach bena fillin gotú lásin Cian fan ginach tá Niall Kennedy Leistig Sean O'Brien leis an baintach Pat hí seans a cholatson.
Beidir go seans an sin ar feis second nó go.
An dobar in some tobar fádrich Sean O'Brien ach tan fellar packet den Galivinish na Shelivan Clitter Johnny Cohen Stechan sagad na 40 David Burke agus tá sun Leistig den goile. Díach Leistig a chunverte an inéchalar na parkach tá Burke mar dúr mar chuiristeach mar látasach.
Se gan dat agus a rís testbáin sé Céchocrín is tá sé de taringt an lán coolí an sin Patrick Begley amach an cool chofad agus is féad.
Sé bliana hin agus bhuaig an ahar John Creb na hen fe blianas fithe an éidir cochtár trín. Declan Hannon nach glóirtan scóir sin ar cosan áde agus í scoop a gan éon íirecht sa bhaile Harris se drasná.
Is cosúil go dahaíonn sin leis a bheith gimmert an seo in nóir na sé mar gachúra eiche mé gimmert an seo imríonn seán war fad agus bin
Well tá máisteach ag an dáthebh nar inú tréimh sí máisteach Niall Park tá racha dhéanamh go Park chéad a féinte ó Nimmert agus tá scios a dhéanamh go Cian Hayes.
Se an dá tá sé déanamh annach chuid de máiste stigan sin Niall Park agus fechar an breithíontach a rinne Begley. Fechar an seothar Begley go hádas atá sé agus d'éirigh leis an lapa mór sin a chur in airde agus tá taspáintas sin le feicáilinn sin a gin sin Rory Foy agus é gimmer.
Cecho tactics a smachta sé counting sí Pat Harris drasnána again. Next tá Barry Daly, Leistig to Dempsey agus de Bryant to Patrick Begley shots a home. Well, Neil Cole on agus sa bhail nó cadra go dtíoch be ga himmer to go ar sin. Ienar Murphy cúpla sa bhail anna bhagan na chorcaí mas céine Pat agus.
Rinne sé gáhabhagan scohaníthe sin i gcuine chorcaí agus sin an le Barry Daly ag teachtas sin le Lewis Lasrach agus David leis an ceann a bhlach áil ríis.
Ar fad éis to get Murphy glantamach agus Steve O'Reilly ar deir héireach.
Le bhfuil fair play O'Reilly a bheits an áid bhfuil an gortú lábh a chorástóach hanig sé teach sa cluiche ag chorcaí go déanana freisin.
James O'Brien is stoile mu checra ag limnach a fear Niall Burke an éisteach tá Burke go ríistin sa Graham al cahi chuireach á again Niall Burke tá réid ar a féimú go díal agus tá puinte eile fós again lehasí lá sin chuig cínis.
Tá sé hard a bheith daim séireach an leid seo agus fecha ar an slíon a bhfuil sé láidir go leir chun beagán in spáis a chruthúdó agus fechar sin mar críoch bhfuil sé an lá.
Down cúta corta sa chiad leise fachta go Glennon bhfuil sí sin scópaidir na choirlí puinte anna yes ar fad an cumán íslethe chuna talún a chuna dhéanamh faoi Corcamáin agus an Galibh chuireach an cíile.
Bhuiile neamhgannach a d'éirigh leis a bhfuil ar an slitar an gceann Anna slack for go job ní raibh éon chosatóir in éan a bheith ábalta.
Bantas Anna Vagadisa gadíocht Anna Yasin son ó Catja Harris a drastán Anna happagar fad a bheith siúd taig Harna ríist.
Well, big winter in Nini Doyle go
agus mátá Dowling agus Kevin Downs clítiging eile tá láma hebh dianta go Barry Daly agus tá painted an giad sco fer láinteoil puirta leis a bhlíine an Galibh le cúcíí na fintí sa chéine.
Go Tommy Turesh Tommy Teresh ranked den na Cholini is fair gur féidir eáil Teresh feáil te gwine shot tróna a ríist.
Agus úpá de bhaise gabhlis tá bearna trícinn de faoin dioscailte i gceann gailifantach gháil maithréis an saige Conor Ellis a Lorna Park i Barry Daly sna sálar siúdach tá anna choisiocht ge Conor Ellis agus tá si chuir dir na cruilí tá na pointí seo gachéin ceann beag nach dís fearna chéanana pa.
Gandal fechar caidan an sin a ríis Conor Ellis an Kennesíocht de haspáin sin boutas an do limnach gur a bhéidir I dribláid beidir agus deirí leis brethir an stitter agus cólíon a scór ail dóibh.
Declan Hannanis ní fadahhain an ad le hamás smachta go dtíana go Ryan agus tá fearlaistigh mar Carmody inis mas féile sí cháilt tá sí ge Fianna Bhróig dianta go maith ge Paul Gordon agus Gerard O'Halloran chun carú leis Taction Dernach don Giadla Anthony Stapleton sás de ligan de seo Donaraig agus Donnan Gníana sin gáis agus Taig Harran a fuair chéad faointe sa Giadla a cheann Limerick an Dewar stíl céanna agus go daon féin an tora céanna.
Anna Fríon bhfuil sé ríis an láidir go Joe agus an tús corthan sin den darna lehan sin ceanna nó méid go le hinne. Bhíon páirte go réitúir.
Seo a chur Harris Drasnán. Seoirta isteach aige agus ná bheitchéan an ach go bhfuil amánaí den scohansa a bhfuil cowchaí marinis a bhain Declan Hannan.
Gandam, nuair a bhí cólín na teasta lúthairt agus cuaig nó méid go le imimehann seo sa darna le agus níor a bhéon scór fáilte go limneach agus chuig Hannan amach an sin agus fuair sé cólín álainn sin á buc sleasa.
Conor Cooney, point of orn sa Chiadla. Arish smachta go deasa Dempsey. Mach go Lorna Park mar bhar Alice agus beidir go dtí nach Alice Alice an sonach scuid Irish agus Staple. Ní fedla mol cahi a hénig a uscailtó Lainca sí Rory fáil. Stanis a draw Dowling. Tuca chun taló agus Pacainica. Brownt again Maltáid agus an come on. Caddisteach sa testán Gaulish go Dowling. Little Luchar.
Well, Gandam, rinne sé.
Osna Piercig, is sé le hart goil ríis Limlíana a chail chluiche canis na héireann Seachúine Curhan Líon agus Shane Dowling an Carna Cúil agus siúd agus nach atá go sunna sásta.
Well, go Dowd rinne chuid de bhainte na gaillimh seans a dhéireacht a ré chun mór a chur dá rá beidir ach fechar chuil láidir is a bhúil sin slitar an boutas an Cúil íontach an sin ceanna bhí a teastáil beidir ó nach limní freisin ach bhúil sé bhí se cosúla orachar.
Nis beag go sé dro an taobh líne ach chuir isteach aige agus tá na réad ar seo ar feimú go dtíanaar fad sin sécína get taig an tróna.
Sin an sécín mar a dúir ar nos sa darna leach an is tá sin bhuiir an glíán agus a ríis tá James O'Brien a lena.
Mar sin tá sé sin chuir Harris Drasnán agus Shane Dowling. Agus é sin chuir Harris Drasnán seachcín de faointí go Harran agus Stalin bud siad cothraimnéis agus stiganis. Déanta go maith Kendi tá Declan Hannan leis feachta níos a ciúne sa tarn leiseach Graham Mulcahy gimeachtasteach tá luasig an versa ach lágéireacht. As chun cheanúir de Jason Green is danse is cinna an a chiún sa tarna leiseach sinnéon siú pointeanna ige park sé go dain tá hóna agus ceantáchtach iad chun cína ríiste. Óníl chuide chun deirg nes.
Agus an céad scór ón Imerton seo sa darna lehan sin ag David Burke agus ba ceart go meach sé glantamach an sin ag Thomas O'Callaghan. Cúpla second ribbe sin bhí seansmach aige brethir an Johnson in a láb.
Leis aige Brisha fachtatá ige Regan seo seans den Gaillimh trúr Cosantóir trúr tosaí James Regan an Tangabháin gus do tosa an nárbhar chláir a scóir agus tá san chuirna ceachtaige.
An dá sin ag lá scór as a chéile ní go chéile feitin na Gaillimh an sin taréistóid a bheith ciúin galóir.
Una dí eile prepáid de limnach beag William Griffin a hosnig chláhanní stóid dóibh gin an chláir a stóilim. Nis Park Schultz Jack Bará an a fighter Falby sé Burke sin de bhína Kenneth Burke an son agus sin an a scóir fad again on dí.
Se una dí a chapter shot.
Agus tá Michael Ryan imimeach an Park a chuid an dáling Mark Carmody atá ciúin Johannes Esteach ceanna Secha Fachtige Barry Daly Irene Nesh Spas a Chrahuda Heinig tá sí seotasteach agus tá sí curra i dirna cúlíige Barry Daly anna bhrás a chochas ach cúpla peinte sa chéad le agus ceanna lena chuis ag an Malivinis agus ceanna tastal go dúirt mar bheith go limnachach ceann san curisteach agus í curra aris a trasnáin agus Kevin O'Donnell náfilach takeach an parke agus scór anna hábhachta seachún Shane Dowling chola gasisiú tá fearsair leis de Carmody seans leite a bhfuil limnach Johnny Cohen an san hir amachchaní Barry Daly na giirithe chunne tá Johnny Cohen agus Corcamáin an níoscurthe i g Conor Alistair siút Fachtige Hannon agus well Stracach an talún an cábhar hénig buinteach an san agus tá Rory Cafáy ar chórt a bípach seans go bhfuil a fortseinte
seans go bhfuil a bhríon tháinig sé teach go láidir tháinig sé teach a hardláidir agus rug sér an gomáin rug sér an gáis sin óníl an dara rá an réitar tá sin a head capan
well bhís Cafáy go má gur bheith Hannon an fearcúntúrach agus tá deire diantaige
sé mar a dúir tógaí carta buige cheanna féin bhfuil an dara rá an réitar a ché chuirt an fáil
Beg na Galibig i dtíobh le ceathra Leis Glachim leis go bhfuil seach an túirt fé féintin sa sin dianta á féintin is seán Sean O'Brien agus anna bhlocáilir fá dianta go siú Fachtige bort má tá ní móra a fisce vinda sa tarna le ach an méid sin ráit do á féinte Fachtige bort agus is tácht go pointí
nó a fórsa deis ní mór sé mór an chansan an seo sa darna le a tá gach seans a fórsa scoráiltige tar éis cléthe óntaach a immert an seo staithe
Sicín a ríist ann agus Dowling á hamáin sin isteach a dtíir na cúlaí Dowling a teachtanis tá mór an daoine diréag san cú tá sí blocáilta an sonnige Johnny Cohen den eileh agus tá sí glantamach a David Glennon
Sléach na himmarthe se Barry Daly agus tá Marcus O'Buchalan sa cheanbord gas energy leis an gradam of runna Barry. Barry, congratulations. We knew nothing about how good this Galway team was. You did. How does this feel?
Oh, it's unbelievable. To win a match like that, Limerick were very good, but just to come out in the end as winners, it's unreal, really. It's hard to believe.
And 22 points, that's a fantastic score for a team who have no championship outing until now.
Yeah, we've a good bunch of lads, and we've had a good 3 weeks leading up to the game, and I suppose our challenge matches among ourselves are nearly as good as championship, so it's proved today that they are.
And you had to do it with 14 men in the end.
Yeah, I suppose there was a few decisions that went against us in the end, but thankfully we held through and we just stuck to the game plan, and thankfully we came through.
The 2 goals that went against you, they came at kind of crucial junctures, we thought, because 9 minutes into the first half, 9 minutes into the second half, and they tested the character of this Galway team.
A lot of us have been involved in tough games of late, though, and we know never to give up. Like, if you keep sticking with the game plan and working hard, we knew not to panic, because it was as it was early in the game when it happened to us. We just stuck with it, and we knew we had the people on the pitch to do the business, and thankfully it worked out.
Go hard, that's very good. Really, the starting and so.